Alright, so in this video for the second project, I'm going to go through and show how to get some of the data for this foreign exchange forecasting and testing of the foreign exchange market efficiency by getting the data. So let's see how to get some of the data. This is the file that I uploaded to Blackboard. Look at this and it's really intimidating, but it's really not once you start putting it in and start working with it. It's not too bad. So we have the time period, the spot exchange rate. I picked the UK pound. When you're doing this project, if you chose to do this project, you have to pick a currency that's freely floating and then go back to get as much variation as you can. The time horizon should go back as far as you can. The UK pound has been floating vis-a-vis the US dollar since basically the end of the Bretton Woods system in '73, but I chose 1982 as the beginning, just arbitrarily, just for the heck of it. So here's how to get some of the data. You're going to need the exchange rate, of course, for whatever country you choose. You're going to need the UK Treasury bill rate. That's the 90-day interest rate. There's a 3-month interest rate on a UK government bond. You're going to need the UK Consumer Price Index. From that, you'll calculate inflation, the UK inflation. And then you're going to need these same three variables, but for the US, which is right here. US CPI, US T-bill, US CPI, and then again you can derive the US inflation from that. And then the forward exchange rate, dollar price at the pound. And this I will give to you. Tell me which currency you have, and then I'll have to get this for you because it's not publicly available online. And then all these other columns right here are just derived from Excel. I'll show you these in a later video, the next video or two. I don't remember how many there make for this, but to show where you get all these variables from: PPP, inflation differential, and so on. So let's see how to get the datas. Again, you're going to have to choose a time period. You should go back as far as you can, and also go. See, I started back in 1982, and go up to 2014 October. So this is quarter 4 actually of 2014. Okay, so let's see how to get the UK Treasury bill. Right. So go to Fred's website. When you're doing this, looking for the data on Fred, you can either go to click this, the economic research tab up here, and it takes you to a slightly different page. I would recommend searching for the data in their search bar right here, but only after you click this Fred economic data link. You see here, that changes this web address here. And that actually makes things a little easier. I find that it's smoother. So we're looking for the UK Treasury bill. Just type in UK Treasury bill, enter. I have to type in 90 days. You can. It might help your search, but Fred is pretty smart and kind of gets the gist of what you're looking for. Let me see here. Let's type in UK Treasury. I want to find the 90-day rate. So here it is, right here. So 3-month, in other words, 90-day interest rate and yield. Yield is basically just future rates, future returns on bonds. Anyway, Treasury securities for the UK. And again, you don't pick annual, pick monthly or quarterly. You pick quarterly here, and then again. Like the other was, if you chose this video or chose this project, you went to watch the other video, so never mind. But you'll see here it shows the graph of every 3 months. So quarter 4, quarter 3 of 1970. This is the UK 3-month interest rate on the left-hand side, and then time on the right-hand side. You can play with this graph if you want to. But to get the actual data, you could. So I said you haven't watched the other video, but I said this in another video. You could say, okay, what's 1975 quarter 1, and then go here and say, oh, 1975 Quarter one, it was what? It was 9.63. Okay, 1975. Quarter two, blah 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 blah, and then it was 10 point. Okay, that would take forever, so we don't want to do that. We want to be economists here and be efficient, and let Excel do that for us, and let Fred. That data has already been stored in Fred. How do you get this data then? The data that's on this graph. See these numbers? As I'm moving along, how do you get those numbers? Well, go to export. So what do you export? You're exporting this data. Quarterly, semi-annual, or monthly. Just click quarterly here. Export the data. Download as XLS. .xls, that's the name of an Excel file. It's like .doc is the name of a Word file. .xls is the name of an Excel file. Open with Excel, yeah. Let's do that. So here's the Fed graph right here. UK 3-month interest rate on a quarterly basis. So say I wanted to go, like I picked 1982. Say I just picked, so here's 1982 right here. I would just copy this, right? Copy. Paste. Pound signs. What's going on? Double click right here. And here you go. For some reason, Fred takes it all the way out. Oh, this is 2/3 and 1/3, so it decimals. But if you ever see these pound signs, it just tells you that the column's not big enough to hold all the decimal places. So just move the columns like this. Okay, we're done with that, so we can close that out. We need to label this. Insert. So you click here on this first row, right click, insert, inserts another row, an empty row, call it UK T-bill. Okay, click the column, you can center it if you want to make it look pretty. Okay, then what do? Go back here, and what else do we need? We need the UK CPI. So you just UK Consumer Price Index. Okay, again, Fred is pretty smart. It should pick it up within the first couple links here, and indeed it does. Consumer Price Index, all items in the United Kingdom. This is what you want. CPI, all items in the UK. For the US, you got to make sure. I don't know why, but Denver always comes up as the first one. Don't click Denver. You're comparing CPI in the city or the metropolitan area of Denver to the UK. You want all urban areas. It'll say for the US, all urban areas. Index here, this is really important. 2010. So when you get the CPI for the US, you also want to make sure that your index is based on, so the base year is also 2010. So we're going with quarterly data. Click the quarterly. And again, it shows you a nice little pretty graph here. Go to export. Download it as XLS. Open with Excel. I chose 1982. Highlight this. Right click, copy, and so on and so forth. You get the picture. UK CPI. Control V, copy paste. Again, it's, oh, what happened? Nothing happened. Just double click this, make it fit. Center it, make it look nice, blah, 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 blah. Now let's go get US T-bill, and so on. And you do the same thing. This is just the file from Fred. We can close that. You don't have to save it if you don't want to. And then go US CPI and so on and so forth. So that's how to get data in Fred and import it into your Excel spreadsheet.